Today we're going to be looking at Magic the Gathering creatures. They start small, but they can end up being enormous. I'm going to start off with Wake Thrasher. This is a pretty funny 3-mana 1/1 Merfolk Soldier, but it has this really weird caveat. Okay, whenever a permanent you control becomes untapped, Wake Thrasher gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So it starts as a 1/1, but what you can do is like tap all your lands at the end of your opponent's turn, and then on your turn, they all untap and it becomes an enormous creature. I've seriously swung with like a 15/15 before between all my creatures untapping and also all of my lands. Next up, let's get to... All right, we have Christopher B with the Figure of Destiny. A little bit of work to go from 0 to 100. Uh-oh. Web server is returning an unknown error. Do you know what? We went too fast with this Figure of Destiny. It was too fast even for Scryfall. It is, for 1 mana, it's a 1/1. And then for a white, it turns into a 2/2. But for 3 mana, it becomes a 4/4. And before you know it, for an entire 6 mana, it becomes an 8/8 flying first striker. Assuming it, and also becomes a Kithkin Spirit Warrior avatar. For the low cost, what is this? 1, 4, 10 mana? You get what you pay for, though, to get those 8/8 flying first strikers. All right, next oh, this card's actually true story. Okay, Slick Shot Show Off. If no one has played Standard or Pioneer, maybe they don't understand this card. It's a 2-mana 1/2 flying in haste. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Slick Shot Show Off gets +2/+0. I hate this card. I hate everything about this. Red players are probably in like a really good place these days. Being in the red is very popular right now in Standard and Pioneer. Oh, we have no music? Well, we're gonna have music in a second. Don't worry. I don't want to scam everyone out of the music. I don't want to scam myself out of the music. It's very possible to die on turn 3 with Slick Shot Show Off. They play Lightning Bolt, Lava Dart, sacrifice a mountain, Lava Dart you again, and he keeps getting +2/+0, +2/+0, +2/+0, and then stacks until it kills you. Next up, let's look at Steve Cooper's Taurian Mauler. The Taurian Mauler is a 3-mana 2/2 shapeshifter. It is a changeling, but whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. You have the choice not to. I mean, hey, maybe you don't want it to get so big. And if you're up against a Storm player who's rattling off the rituals, draw spells, or rummaging spells, this thing's gonna get enormous. The hope though is that they whiff, so you can swing back and actually kill them. Because otherwise, you're probably dying that turn. Toilet Duck says, Fear of Change doesn't make itself big, but puts big things into play, including banned cards like Emrakul, Fear of Change. Don't know what this thing is. 2 mana, 2/3. Creature enters or dies. Exile another creature. This doesn't really... Not for the show. It's the creature itself has to be big. The creature itself is going from 0 to 100. Meme Bruley with The Master Multiplied. Is this also one of those multiplication cards? Okay, the legend rule doesn't apply to creature tokens you control. Triggered abilities you control can't cause you to sacrifice or exile creature tokens you control. There's also... Oh, it has Myriad. That's what you mean by it. The legend. What is a Myriad? It makes a copy of itself, and everyone has to attack each other with those stupid copies. Maybe I'll count that one. Maybe I'm fine with that. Next up, we're gonna go with... Oh, that's actually... Oh, sorry, I meant this one. Kano, Arcbound Ravager. If anyone's ever played against this card... Oops. Arcbound Ravager. I wonder, is this card even popular in Commander? The 2-mana 0/0, but it comes with a +1/+1 counter on it because of Modular 1. Snag an artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on your Arcbound Ravager. And also, if you're in the Hardened Scales deck, Hardened Scales, every single time you sacrifice an artifact, it's actually going to not double the counters, but you're going to get like more, you're going to get 2 +1/+1 counters for each artifact that you sacrifice to this thing. Generally speaking, what you end up usually doing is either you're going to attack with your Arcbound Ravager and a bunch of other creatures. Something isn't going to be blocked. You sack everything to the Arcbound Ravager, and then you sacrifice the Arcbound Ravager, sort of it to itself, and then put all the counters on something else, some creature that got through, and kill your opponent. Okay, next up. Atog, sack all your foods. Oh, like the OG Atog? There we go. Sack all your food, blood, and treasure tokens. Atog in 2025 is looking better than ever. The 2-mana 1/2, sack an artifact, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Is anyone making Atog decks these days? It is banned in Pauper, right? Like, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's banned. There we go. Confirmation. It's still good. Even today. Evan with the Lord of Extinction. Lord of Extinction is a 5-mana star. Its creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in all graveyards. What is like a self-milling card that is going to make this card go exponential? I don't know. I don't know the best synergy for this thing. Outside of like what is there like a sort of mass dredging mechanic? You know, at the beginning of each player's upkeep, like mill 5 cards. It would work perfect with this thing. Next up, well, let's look at Castle Stars. Alexios. Yeah, Leyline of the Void player is laughing. Wow. But that only hits everyone else's graveyard. Doesn't affect your own. So your graveyard is still going to buff up the Lord of Extinction for the most part. Okay, Alexios is a 4-mana 4/4 human berserker with trample. Alexios attacks each combat if able, can't be sacrificed, and can't attack its owner. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player gains control of Alexios, untaps it, and puts a +1/+1 counter on it. It gains haste until end of turn. What? Attacks in each combat can't be sacrificed. And then puts... Oh, I see. At the beginning of each player's upkeep. So it's a 4/4, turns into a 5/5, 6/6, 7/7, comes back to me as an 8/8. Actually, quite fascinating. Well, it doesn't double its power every rotation. It will just get a +1/+1. So it's not exponential, but it still gets big and out of control after even 3 rotations. Next up, Julio. Well, if you let this grow, it'll eat your Mossborn Hydra. Like grow it like a chia pet. 3-mana 0/0 with trample, enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. But whenever a land you control enters, we're going to double the number of +1/+1 counters on this creature. And I can already see it. You double it with this. You get doubling season. You get all the hardened scales. You get all the doubling cards for people that like to math the maths. You go get your Mossborn Hydras. Lewis with Molteni. The Yavamaya's Avatar. There's a lot of cards that we can look at today. It's a 6-mana 0/0 with reach and trample. Gets a +1/+1 gets just +1/+1 for each land you control and each land card in your graveyard. Woo! You don't even have to have many lands in play. And for 2 mana, return 2 lands you control to their owner's hand. Return this card from your graveyard to your hand. And it comes back. Like, cards that do really well when you mill yourself. Moltani's face will be right there, right on it. Michael Lang with Psychotog. For anyone that's ever... I don't know, was anyone around when this card was first printed? Oh, I hate that art. That's just awful. This art is disgusting. It's just absolutely disgusting. This is like E.T. Somehow got mutated. That's what this Psychotog looks like. I like the OG one. It's a lot more cute. 3-mana 1/2. Discard a card from your hand. Psychotog gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Remove 2 cards in your graveyard from the game. Psychotog gets +1/+1 until end of turn. I was there. I was there in the upheaval days. They upheaval the board. They upheaval the board and play the Psychotog. And then all of a sudden, you're up against their entire hand and their graveyard. And you're going to die very quickly. Ridded Lex with our first super chat. Mendicant Core once you hit max speed. I still don't even know what max speed is. Minikin Core, it's a 2-mana star 3. Its power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. Start your engines! Max speed. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you can pay 1. If you do, copy it. And if you copy it, you can have 1,000,000 artifacts on the battlefield. Or how about this? This plus Bootlegger Stash. Huh? Am I wrong or am I not right? I think I'm right. Bootlegger Stash. Perfect combo card with this card. The Sebstone with Torian Mauler. I'm surprised more people aren't building around that card. Oh, did I spell it right? Torian. Oh, we did that one. Sorry about that. It's been done already. This card actually doesn't get big, Romeo. It's the card itself. Or do we count this thing? Scoot mob stuff. You know what? All right. I'm gonna count Scoot mob like scenarios. So if it blurts 1,000,000 copies of itself on the battlefield, sure. Oslet Pride. Okay, then we're gonna count those. We're gonna count the Scoot mob mechanics. A white 1/1 cat, first strike, lifelink, and ascend. And at the beginning of your end step, if you gained life this turn, create a 1/1 cat creature token. Then if you have the City's Blessing, for each token that you control that enter the battlefield this turn, create a token. That's a copy of it. And and it really does get out of control. When there's too many cats on the battlefield, you're not going to stop the life gain. Not that those cats have life gain. Bulky with Warping Worm. Very slowly, but he will get bigger. Well, okay, I guess I didn't say how quickly we need to go from 0 to 100. Just that we need to go from 0 to 100. A lot of people are using Scryfall today. It's a bit it's choking on me a bit. One of the best websites, though, for looking up Magic the Gathering cards. Hey, Mr. Deadhead, welcome. Warping Worm. Oh, we timed out. Don't worry. Bear with me here. All right, we got a 4-mana 1/1 with phasing. During your upkeep, pay 4 or Warping Worm phases out. When Warping Worm phases in, put a +1/+1 counter on it. This is a very slow 0 to 100. I think the race will be over by the time we get our engine started. Dangerous one with the super chat. Slicer Hired Muscle. Let's try this again. Do you just suggest this every single show it works out for? More than meets the eye. You can pay this card for 3 mana. Double strike and haste. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you may have that player gain control of Slicer until end of turn. If you do, untap it, goad it, and it can't be sacrificed. If you don't, convert it. Then Slicer, Living Metal, first strike, haste. When it deals combat damage to a player, convert it end of... Actually, I honestly don't think this works with the today's show. I mean, unless you're talking about how it's a car, right? I mean, that I guess that's what you're trying to do. But does not actually go from 0 to 100 in terms of power and how much out of control it gets. Okay, we'll get Jumbo Cactuar. Jumbo Cactuar. We'll get it out of everybody's system. Yes, this is definitely it's not really a 0 to 100. It's more of like a 0 to 10,000. Jumbo Cactuar, when it attacks, it gets plus 9,999 plus 0 until end of turn. That's right. All you need is a 7-power creature, and you just chump block it. It's as simple as that. Now, the good news is it doesn't naturally have trample. A Blackbird, white of the Reliquary. What does white mean in this context? The white of the Reliquary. The 2-mana 2/2 Zombie Knight Vigilance. Gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard. Tap, sack another creature. We gotta fill that graveyard somehow, people. If we have to, we're gonna do it ourselves. Search your library for a land card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then sacrifice. You know what you could go get? You could get a Dryad Arbor. That's a land, but it also could be a creature to sacrifice next. Next up, Excited Raichu with Bruna. The Light of Alabaster. Oh, Knight of the Reliquary. This is just proof that the lore of the knight is dead. Knight of the Reliquary is dead, and it's never coming back to Modern, or maybe some other Brew. There we go. Oh, it's Brew. Yeah, it's Bruna. Bruna, Light of Alabaster. It's a 6 mana 5/5 flying vigilance. When it attacks or blocks, you may attach it to any number of. You can may attach to it any number of auras on the battlefield, and you may put onto the battlefield attached to it any number of aura cards that could enchant it from your graveyard and or hand. So it is Aura Reanimator, a very unusual archetype, I must say. But I mean, if it goes off, it's going to go off. Of course, you're going to have all the auras that are like Trample, Double Strike, Hexproof, Totem Armor, all the works. Next super chat is coming from Elixir. Thank you very much for your super chat. You do Scoot Swarm? Technically, no. Even though I made mention of it. Okay, we have the 3 mana 1/1. How many? Did anyone's arena get like crashed before? I didn't play arena. I mean, I never let Scoot Swarm get that far, and I also didn't play much when Scoot Swarm was like a pretty big deal on arena. Whenever a land you control enters, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. If you control 6 or more lands, create a token that's a copy of Scoot Swarm instead. Survival rule 782. There are always more Scoot bugs. The problem is, once your lands are making Scoot Swarms, well, A, you're probably going to run out of table space, or you're going to crash the server. It's bad for both paper and digital. It's fun to mutate Scoot Swarms. You know what? I don't even want to think how that works. That's just gonna break my brain. That's too much for me. Alan with Toothy Imaginary Friend. I just let it multiply. I'll end up in a draw. Fool! You're making too many Scoot Swarms. You realize you fell right into my trap. You're forcing the game into a draw. Okay, Toothy Imaginary Friend, a 4 mana 1/1, partner with Peer. Whenever you draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Toothy. Ooh, very good with wheel effects. And whenever Toothy leaves the battlefield, draw a card for each +1/+1 counter on it. Wheel of Fortune. Then when it dies, you get a fortune. Do we serve the band? That actually wouldn't count for today's show. It is. I mean, if you can combo off with it, it will eventually. It actually doesn't really even get that big. It stays as a 3/4 for the most part. Use us with Amalia. Oh yeah, Amalia. When you combo off with Amalia and what's it called? Wild Growth Walker, I believe. 2 mana 2/2. Ward, pay 3 life. Whenever you gain life, Amalia explores. Then destroy all other creatures if its power is exactly 20. So the deal is, how did this combo with Wild? Whenever you gain life, it explores. Oh yeah, Wild Growth Walker said if you explore, you gain life, which then made the Amalia get to easily 20 power and then completely blow up the world. Oops! Oops! Hexanort, Tyvar. I read that as the plumber. Tyvar the plumber. Coming at you with his trusty plunger. It's a 3 mana 3/3 elf warrior. Tap another untapped creature you control. Tyvar the Pummeler gains indestructible until end of turn. You can tap it. And for 5 mana, creatures you control get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Oh, so it's pretty exponential. You can do that several times. They keep doubling and doubling and doubling. Next up, we're gonna go. Oh, Toads, I thought you were going to be absent today, just listening in the background, but now you got Voice of the Blessed. You found your voice. 2 mana 2/2. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, and as long as this creature has 4 or more +1/+1 counters, it gains Flying and Vigilance. And as long as this creature has 10 or more +1/+1 counters, it is indestructible. Anyway, good luck beating that. Romeo. Ogre attack makes Helm of the Host go imaginary numbers. Is 5 turns. What? Ogre attack makes Helm of the Host go to imaginary numbers? Oops, I spelled this wrong. Ogre. Ogre attack. I'm spelling this right. Yeah, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. We're on our way. Oh no. Okay. I guess this isn't the card. Something tack? But I think tack is just gonna give me too many results. No, okay, sorry, I don't know what the card is. We need a more definitive card. Well, which one is it? I don't know. Oh, it's TAQ. I need the right card name because I don't know these card names. I sometimes get comments. I still why do I keep writing OG tack? We got there eventually. All right, 6 mana, 6/6 vigilance. If one or more creature tokens would be created under your control, create 3 times that many of those tokens are created instead. Does this lock the game? So Helm of the Host will make a copy of itself, right? When Ogre attack dies, returns to the battlefield tapped and transformed under its owner's control. So like, does it just lock the game? One or more tokens will be created under your control. 3 times that many of those tokens are created instead. So it just goes like exponential, then exponential. Like, there's no end to this. You have to do this. Fascinating. Geyer. We have Bristly Bill. Bristly Bill is a 2-mana 2/2 plant druid with landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. But for 5 mana, you can double the number of +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. Looks good for an artifact deck. It's like an artifact creature in absolute disguise. Islar with Thales Reverent Medium. Copying or duplicating that trigger or token gen in any way is insane. It's a 5 mana for a 3/4 human cleric. At the beginning of each end step, create X 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of tokens you created this turn. Create X. Oh, it's at the end step. I was like, how are we making tokens at the upkeep? Usually these sort of effects happen at upkeep. No. So it reminds me of Oscillate Pride. Oscillate Pride plus Thales would make a great combo. Next, we've got Jack with the Ageless Entity. It's going to be Ageless. The 5 mana 4/4. Whenever you gain life, put that many +1/+1 counters on Ageless Entity. So you have to gain life. If your life total just becomes some number, it's not going to count. Life gain plus this card. This is like the ultimate beginner card. I can totally see someone who just starting to play the game looking at this thing like, oh my god, I saw those life gain cards a few packs ago. If I gain 10 life with this thing, it's going to be a 14/14 creature. That's amazing. Okay, Benovsky with Soul Steeper. B-Lore is like, Birds of Paradise. If you don't bolt the bird, you lose. Oh, in theory. Dina, 2 mana 1/3. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. And for 1 mana, sacrifice another creature. Dina's Soul Steeper gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the sacrifice creature's power. So this card requires a little bit of setup. Step 1, put a big creature in play. Step 2, don't attack with that big creature. Just sack it to your Dina, I suppose. Blink Somniac with Kaith, famed Machinist. Machinist? Oh, Machinist. Oh, Machinist? Is that what it is? Okay, this is a 4 mana 3/3 Dwarf Artificer with Fabricate 1. So you can put a +1/+1 counter on the creature, you get a 1/1 servo. Other non-creatures you control have Fabricate 1 and pay 2 tap. You can populate, or you could choose to proliferate. You can yeah, so I guess you make more baby servos as populate. The artifacts are getting it on, or you proliferate. You can increase the counters on a particular creature. Trisaru with Flesh Carver. 3 mana 2/2 human wizard with Intimidate. For 2 mana, sacrifice another creature, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Flesh Carver. When Flesh Carver dies, put an XX black horror creature token onto the battlefield, where X is Flesh Carver's power. At the very least, we can sacrifice creatures and make this thing enormous. And then you have the insurance. When it's dead, well, you're going to get something anyway. Next up, we have Elixir with the super chat. Eve, Progenitor Ooze. Is this that card that's indestructible? And I think it's very tiny, but it like doubles its counters or something like that. Oh, I think this is a different card. This is a 5-mana 2/2 with Storm. Eve Progenitor Ooze isn't legendary if it's a token, and Eve enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each other ooze you control. So actually, there is some relevance to storming off with this thing. The more Eves you have in play, the bigger they get. Remember, in this case, the bigger they are, the harder you fall. Okay, next up. Magnum Opus Gold with Sutured Ghoul. 7-mana Star Zombie. Trample. As Sutured Ghoul enters the battlefield, exile any number of creature cards from your graveyard. Sutured Ghoul's power is equal to the total power of the exiled cards, and its toughness is equal to their total toughness. Then another card that depends on the graveyard. This is 7 mana. People are willing to spend 7 mana for this thing, but I'll tell you what. At that point in the game, all your creatures are probably dead. And that means it's even strong. That's just one step ahead for the Sutured Ghoul. It's all part of the plan. You blocked my creature thinking that was going to be a bad thing. It ended up being a good thing. Okay, Seb Stone with Sovereign Okanek. Ahow. It's a cat. It's a 4-mana 3/4 cat noble with Ward 2. Whenever Sovereign Okanek Ahu attacks for each creature you control with power greater than that creature's base power, put a number of +1/+1 counters on that creature equal to the difference. For each creature you control with power greater than that creature's base power. Oh, I see. You're like buffing them up depending on the difference. But then it should even out, right? For each creature control, then they're just all the same. They say like you're only as strong as your like weakest teammate, but this card like basically evens all that out. Next up with Benovsky, the Infinity Elemental. Oh, it's a 0. It's an unset card. 0 to infinity immediately. 7 mana for No, it starts at infinity. This creature has infinite power. Technically, like, doesn't work. It starts off with infinite power. It didn't even start at 0. This card is start at 100 and you're still at 100. You start at 100, you go to infinity. You start at infinity, you can go into infinity. I'm gonna donate that card, which is just all the better for everyone else. Corbinek, Steel Overseer. Makes everything go from 0 to 100. No, it makes everything go from 0 to 1. But if you have a lot of stuff on the battlefield, then it feels like it goes to 0 to 100. The 2-mana 1/1 construct, tap, put a +1/+1 counter on each artifact creature you control. Just needs some sort of proliferating, doubling thing. It's really not. It's completely out of control. Okay, we're going to look at more magic creatures that go from 0 to 100, but we got to thank our sponsor today, FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite place to buy my Magic the Gathering cards. Ooh, we stuck. We stuck in between here. And what is the deal of the week? My coffee crew is 25% off all playmats. So if you're looking for a particular art that you've been missing, well, maybe it's in stock at FusionGamingOnline.com. Also, this weekend, Fusion Gaming, the Fusion Open is happening April 12th to 13th. I will be there. I'm going to play some Modern for sure. And of course, oh yeah, Tarkir Dragonstorm officially out. Get those dragons hot and fast. They're breathing fire. And use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases, because that is a fire coupon code. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. Play any deck, any format you want on Magic Online. Forget MTG Arena. When you get cards on that thing, they're locked. You can't rent cards there. You have to basically buy wild cards, and then you're stuck with whatever you got. On Magic Online, you can play any deck. You can either buy the cards and sell them, or you can rent them with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or get 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription using coupon code Nikachu_ZUL. And back to our creatures going from 0 to 100. Isn't 0 a part of infinity? I don't have a degree in math, so, I mean, don't ask me. Okay, Alan with the super chat. Drizzt Dordan. This doesn't even sound like a real card. Drizzt? Is that what they name their cats, their pets? It's a 5-mana 3/3 Elf Ranger, double strike. When Drizzt Do'Urden enters the battlefield, create Gwen Hyvar, a legendary 4/1 cat creature token with trample. Whenever a creature dies, if its power is greater than Drizzt's power, put up a number of +1/+1 counters on Drizzt equal to the difference. Simple. Make millions of 1/1s, sacrifice them all for the greater good of Drizzt. All shall feed Drizzt. Steve Cooper forgot to. Oh, I thought Ad Time was the card that you wanted. Argentina with the killer bees. Not the bees. Blacklands Geo, official playmats, or does it include non-MTG? Well, whatever they have on at FusionGamingOnline.com, they will sell you. I'm pretty sure they have a lot of non-official playmats as well. Killer Bees! It's a 3-mana 0/1 insect. It's got flying and for a green. Killer Bees gets +1/+0 until end of turn. You know what's a huge fail on this? It doesn't have Death Touch. Like, maybe it didn't exist at the time, but still, it's still a fail. They should errata Death Touch on this. What part of Killer Bees is it that it can attack and this just get blocked and then die? Okay, next up, we've got... Oh, Steve Cooper did make a super chat here. Animar, Soul of Elements, and a dono. Three mana 1/1. Protection from white and black. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Animar, Soul of Elements. Reminds me of Champion of the Parish, except this is any creature. And then creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each. Whoa! For each +1/+1 counter on Animar. They feed off each other. You play creature, this thing gets bigger, and the next creature gets a discount. It's economies of scale for anyone that understands that. Okay, there is a super chat from Steve Cooper to be given to Chen. Warping Worm. Oh, I think we did that one. Oh, we did that one. And I think this is more of a gag card anyway. Okay, we're gonna give the super chat to Trent Sims. Yagra. Eater of All. I had this killer cat during pre-release. It was nasty. I played against this card in Pioneer, and it was nasty. A 5-mana 6/6 with Ward Sack of Food. But other creatures are food artifacts in addition to their other types and have pay to sack the permanent. You gain 3 life. Whenever a food is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Yagra, Eater of All. And frankly, Yagra doesn't care how those creatures get to the graveyard. Yagra is me on Monday mornings. Hungry. Okay, Abzo with Othari Sun's Glory. This is a 5-mana 3/3 Phoenix. Flying Lifelink Haste. When it attacks, you get an experience counter. Then create a 2/2 red rebel creature token that's tapped and attacking for each experience counter you have. So basically, you keep attacking, you get more experience. And the more experience, the better recruiter you are. And for 4 mana, tap an untap rebel you control. Return Othari from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So you can't... unfortunately, you can't carry that experience. You sort of went down with it when you died. Lesthian with Bolden. Sentry Herdmaster. This is a 6-mana 0/7 human warrior. During your turn, each creature assigns combat damage to its toughness rather than its power. Whenever Bolden attacks up to 100 target creatures, each get +0/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your hand. Well, you have only one problem. You need 100. You need 100 creatures on the battlefield to really go off with this thing. I guess it's there, though. Next up. Abzo. Othari. Did we do this one? Yeah, I did this. I just did this one. You're just a little lag. You're just a little lag. That's okay. Not everyone joined the show at the same time. Happens. What about my 10th creature? The 10th creature is going to do fine. I guess we're going to get now to no 2 cards yet. Excited Raichu with Arna. Kennerud Sky Captain. This is a 5-mana 4/4 human knight with flying lifelink. Ward, discard a card. Whenever a modified creature you control attacks, double the number of each kind of counter on it. Then for each non-token permanent attached to it, create a token that's a copy of that permanent attached to that creature. What? Okay, whenever a modified creature you control attacks, like if it has a counter. Oh, double. Oh, we're going to double the counters. Whenever a... Does this trigger for each modified creature? You know, I don't like these cards. I mean, I don't. That's why I don't play the decks. They're like, okay, all 4 of these creatures are going to trigger off of each other, and everyone grows at the same time. You're just spending more time playing with dice than actually playing the game. Dogtarian. I tried a Rabid Wombat deck once. If the opponent sits there and does nothing, including killing the Wombat, then it'll get big eventually. Maybe. This is a 4-mana 0/1 Wombat Vigilance. Rabid Wombat gets +2/+2 for each aura attached to it. Oh yeah, I think everyone at some point made the Rabid Wombat deck. It's just inevitable. The only thing, and I mean, truth be told, the Rabid Wombat deck would become a deck somewhere deep in the future when they invented Hexproof, where you can put the auras on the creature, but your opponents can't do squat about attacking it. Oh, I like this one from B-Lore, Mirror Entity. 3-mana 1/1, Changeling. Pay X until end of turn. Creatures you control have base power and toughness XX and gain all creature types. We are all will be one. Very Phyrexian-like. And it is technically a Phyrexian, because it's got Changeling. Okay, we got Christopher B. with Protein Hydra. Whenever I hear the word protein, I think counters and doubling. It's a green axe. Enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. If damage would be dealt to Protein Hydra, prevent that damage or remove that many +1/+1 counters from it. Whenever a +1/+1 counter is removed from Protein Hydra, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it at the beginning of the next end step. Whenever a +1/+1 is removed, put 2. So as long as we take 1 away, we actually get an investment of 2 more. What a funny card. If it's dealt damage, you remove the counters. So we have to like somehow ping it for 1 every single turn. Bryce, Haunt of the High Tower. Sky's the limit with Mirror Entity. You're absolutely right. Well, technically the limit is how much mana you have. The Haunt of the High Tower, a 6-mana 3/3 vampire, flying lifelink. Whenever it attacks, defending player discards a card, but whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, foreshadowing, milling, it gets put a +1/+1 counter on the Haunt of High Tower. We got Yagman. Thank you very much for your super chat. The most dangerous gamer with attractions is wild. Oh, the most dangerous. This is some Acorn card. I predict Acorn. Oh! Huh? Oh, it has it's banned in a lot of formats, but that's because of the attractions. Okay, so it's a 4-mana 2/2 with Death Touch. Enter the battlefield or attacks, open an attraction. Whenever you open an attraction, put a +1/+1 counter on the most dangerous gamer. Whenever you claim the prize of attraction, destroy target permanent. I honestly don't know how this card works to say if it even counts for the show or not. I'm above and beyond confused. Bo Lindquist with Caldera Pyramaw. This is a 5-mana 3/3 flyer. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Then this creature deals damage equal to its power to target opponent. Easy peasy. So, if this could be like a storm win condition, I suppose. You cast storm cards, and probably the Caldera actually wins before you actually win with this card. This guy paid the price of Sticker's sins. What, the most dangerous gamer? Low hardcore had this pinata mask. Okay, next up, we're going. It's messed up gamer is legal magic creature type. Oh, is that what it is? Human gamer guest? No, there's nothing of that sort over there. I didn't read it. Let's go to Argentina's second card. Sengir Vampire, the original? Did it really get out of control? Flying, whenever a creature dealt damage by Sengir Vampire dies this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Sengir Vampire. I think this card's very, very slow. You can only kill one creature at a turn. I mean, I'm sure there's like some combo with this card going on in some way. Like ping something, then untap it when it gets a +1/+1 counter, crap like that. Kano with Quilled Great Worm. I guess this is a worm show. Does anyone play Worm Kindred out there? It's a 6-mana 7/7 worm trample. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage during your turn, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. Deals combat damage during... Oh, okay, so only on your turn. You may cast this card from your graveyard by removing 6 cards from creatures you control, in addition to paying its other costs. Cast card from your graveyard by removing... Oh, 6 counters. So they can resummon the Quilled Great Worm. It's like a phoenix. The cost is you have to sacrifice your counters. Next up. Corbinek with Horn of Gondor. 3-mana legendary artifact. When Horn of Gondor enter the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Pay 3, tap, create X 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens, where X is the number of humans you control. It's basically, what is it called? Krenko. It is Krenko the artifact. No one said Walking Ballista yet? Well, you did. You have now. Okay, Walking Ballista. It starts as a 0/0. Usually this is a combo card. Pay 4, put a +1/+1 counter on Walking Ballista. So if you have infinite mana, everyone's infinitely dead. Remove a +1/+1 counter from Walking Ballista. It deals 1 damage to any target. What next here? We got Luca. Welcome, Luca. Souls of the Lost. So the Lost is a 2-mana... Ooh, what is this? A 2-mana star +1. So it's like a Tarmogoyf. But as an additional cost to cast this spell, discard a card or sacrifice a permanent. Fathomless Descent. Souls of the Lost's power is equal to the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. And its toughness is equal to that number +1. Do you remember us? So this power is equal to the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. Again, another self-milling machine. Mill perm. Oh, you know you. No, would that work? Yeah. You self mill a bunch of your permanents back into the graveyard, and keeps boosting this thing's power. Horn of Gondor isn't a creature, also. Huh? This is not a creature. You're trying to say like what's his name? It wasn't a creature. Krenko. Krenko's a creature. Tresaru, Bronze Guardian. Is a... that's right. The Horn of Gondor isn't a creature. I didn't realize it was disqualified. You know, not a lot of people caught that. It was like only Steve Cooper over here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, this Horn of Gondor actually doesn't qualify for today because it's technically not a creature. Because otherwise we'd be counting things like Doubling Season and so on. Okay, Bronze Guardian, a 5-mana star 5 golem. Double strike with Ward 2. Other artifacts you control have Ward 2, and Bronze Guardian's power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. If you can double the number of artifacts in play, you will double the number of this creature's power. Also, don't forget... Bootlegger Stash. The combo card for all of these sort of weird cards. I got a turbo self-milled Jund deck with Souls of the Lost in standard. It really easily was dealing for 20 plus damage. I believe you will. I believe you, William. I believe you, William. Next up, let's look at Hexenor. It's Venom. Oh, I totally forgot about these cards. Spider-Man card. Are they illegal yet? Oh, it's unreleased. So we know what it looks like. We don't know how good it is yet. Okay, 4 mana, 4/4, Vigilance and Menace. Pay 3, exile target creature card from a graveyard. And if you do, put X +1/+1 counters on target symbiote. Oh, guess what? This card's a symbiote. Where X is the exiled card's toughness. It feeds on your flesh. Venom is a very hungry fellow over there. What does everyone think? Comic book lore or movie lore that they're following? Eddie. I'm hungry, Eddie. Wait, how have we not said the One Ring? Because that is not a creature. That's how we haven't said the One Ring. Venom likes big butts. Yep. Sink its teeth into that big butt. Okay, Christopher B is trying to send... I think Christopher B has a message for me. And it's called Phytohydra. The Phytohydra is a 5 mana 1/1. If damage would be dealt to Phytohydra, put that many +1/+1 counters on it instead. You can't hurt a Phytohydra. You can only piss it off. That's all you can do to the Phytohydra. Welcome, Alex. Oh, we're Zybring big time today. Okay, Spectral Maniac. Just tuned in a bit ago. Have we looked at Devilish Valet? Nope. Can they get big? It's a 3 mana 1/3 trample haste. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, double Devilish Valet's power until end of turn. That means tokens plus this guy. It's going to get out of control very, very quickly. What is, if you put 3 tokens in play, it doubles, so it goes to 2/2, 4/4, 8/8. Yep, that works. The math. It checks out. Trent Sims with Anafenza, Unyielding Lineage. Unyielding! Oh, Anafenza. You left us too soon. Is she dead? She looks dead. I can't tell if she's, like, protected by an aura or a spell, or this is a... Oh, no, she's dead. It says so right here. The spirit. Flash. First strike. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, Anafenza endures 2. Put 2+1/+1 counters on it, or create a 2/2 white spirit creature token. She has been dead since we were here last time. Oh, okay. So I just can never remember. Okay, we got Pompalock with Mysterious Egg. Oh. It's a 1 mana 0/2. Whenever this creature mutates, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay. I mean, I guess if you mutate this thing often enough. How many mutate cards do you have in your deck? Mutate. One of the weirdest, greatest fails of Magic the Gathering mechanics. Benovsky says WrestleMania Universe Beyond when? I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna have Ric Flair. What? The Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan. Who else? Jake the Snake. Jake the Snake can make snakes. Okay, Julio, we got... You want Morel. Shield of Argiv. Replacement for the Horn. Okay, there we go. Okay, we have a 4 mana 3/4. During your turn, your opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. That's pretty good. And then whenever Morel, Shield of Argiv attacks, create X 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature tokens, where X is the number of soldiers you control. Love it. And if no one do, I mean, you got to kill it on your turn. If you don't kill it on your turn, well, this thing's gonna kill you. Trent Sim says Steel Chair would be the most broken card ever. How many wrestling fans are there out there? I used to watch wrestling, you know, when I was like 7 or 8 years old, which was a long, long time ago. And then my favorite wrestlers moved to the WCW, and I was like, okay, I'm done. We're done here. I don't even know why they moved. I have to look it up. They were probably pissed at Vince McMahon or something. Does Delver of Secrets count? No. That's very small creature. That turns into less small creature, but still small. Tola Duck. Zimone. Paradox Sculptor. If you keep doubling counters, well, that's the idea. We have a 4-mana 1/4. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures you control. Oh, and then for 2 mana, double the number of each kind of counters on up to 2 target creatures and/or artifacts you control. Weird that they restricted it to just 2 cards. Like, okay, we don't want this to be populate powerful, but at the same time, it's still basically populate. Sorry, not proliferate. It's still basically proliferate. Elga, you don't have anything yet? Academy Elite. Looks like someone's graduating. Someone at the back has the Pope hat. We got the Pope. Congratulations, the Pope is graduating university. Okay, we have a 4-mana 0/0 human wizard. Academy Elite enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of instant and/or sorcery cards in all graveyards. Then for 3 mana, remove a +1/+1 counter from Academy Elite. Draw a card, then discard a card. Where X is the number of instant sorcery cards in all graveyards. That's true. Okay, so it goes from it can't. In theory, it could be 0 to 100, all in one shot. It's the Pope's grad class. I mean, they taught the Pope. Big fan of sauce and also bread too. Oh, just talking about yourself. The bread and cheese man. Looks like a Monty Python skit. Okay, who has maybe no card yet? Maybe still looking for their first card. David is looking for a second card. Hanger Back Walker. Ballista's cousin? Yes, technically. Okay, so it's Arcbound Ravager's cousin, I believe. Because when it enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it, but when it dies, create a 1/1 colorless Thought-Bearer artifact creature token with flying for each +1/+1 counter on Hangerback Walker, then pay 1 tap, put a +1/+1 counter on Hangerback Walker. The idea is that the more counters you put on this thing, the worse it gets when your Arcbound Ravager decides to go all in. Because you can sack the Hangerback Walker to give Arcbound Ravager a +1/+1 counter, and then you can sacrifice all the babies the Hangerback Walker made. LOL, Academy Elite literally could be 0 to 100. Yeah, exactly. Or 100%. Argentina with Fallen Angel. Are you an angel? Did you fall from heaven? Because you're an angel. This angel is pretty scary, not gonna lie. 5 mana 3/3. Flying. Feels like a Sharpie card. This looks like something got erased over here. Sacrifice a creature. Fallen Angel gets +2/+1 until end of turn. Fantastic. With that flying, great creature outlets. This creature sack outlet can kill you in one shot. We also just recently got Hangerbacker at home. Do we? Lesthian with Rampant Frogantua? 3 mana 3/3 frog, trample. When Rampant Frogantua gets +10/+10 for each player who has lost the game. Whenever Rampant Frogantua deals combat damage to a player, you may mill that many cards. Put any number of land cards from among them onto the battlefield tapped. It's +10. It definitely goes from 3/3 to 13/13 in a real hurry. If you can kill 2 people, become a 23/23. Julio, my last card, the Haughty Djinn. Is that the one that gets big based on instants and sorceries? Oh, it was too hot for the server. Server crashed. Or did I misspell? No, this is it. 3 mana star 4. Flying. This creature's power is equal to the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. And instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. I think these cards, Somehow, you know, I always figured that these cards would be like really busted, but somehow just being a 3 mana 10/4 just isn't really good enough for the most part in competitive Magic. Rough 1/1, Nadu. We're not counting right Nadu because it does. Oh, you're talking about like with Springheart Nantuko? Well, that's a Springheart Nantuko thing. Nadu itself does not get very big or multiply the board. It's all about the creature getting really big or putting a lot of stuff on the board. That's the idea today. Market Back Walker is Hanger Back Walker? Market Back Walker. Never heard of it. There's a market on someone's back? Market Back Walker, XX for a 0/0 construct. This creature enters with X +1/+1 counters on it. Pay 4, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. When this creature dies, draw a card for each +1/+1 counter on it. Oh, is this it? This creature enters with X +1/+1 format. This is terrible. This is way worse. It will still kill you all the same if you have infinite mana. Don't get me wrong. Or sorta, yeah. Infinite mana, you still get an infinitely large creature. Although you can, so hold on, this is like Hangerback Walker meets Walking Ballista, because this is Walking Ballista's ability. This is the child between Hangerback Walker and a Walking Ballista. They found themselves a nice, cozy hotel room. Chameleon Colossus? This is a 4 mana 4/4. Pro Black, Changeling, and then for 4 mana. Oh yeah, I guess +X until end of turn, where X is its power. You have a lot of mana. You can keep doubling and doubling it. Double your and it's 100%. You'll double. You'll roll doubles on this card. Imagine if you pay infinite mana, it gets popped. Oh, what on the Market Back Walker? Because if it dies, draw. Oh, that would be. I'll make this infinitely big. Like, you can't sack this thing. No, I guess, yeah, you make it infinitely big, someone Doom Blades it. Well, I guess I draw my deck then. Oh, I guess I lose. No head? Well, there appears to be someone standing on top, like, as a head. Just a random mage with Primordial Hydra. I don't think we did this one. The green X enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, double the number of +1/+1 counters on Primordial Hydra, and it's got trample as long as it has 10 or more +1/+1 counters. There we go. I'm glad we got this one. Old Pauper Days, Kiln Fiend. What does that mean? Is it banned? It's not banned, is it? Is it banned? Is it banned? Kiln Fiend? No, it's legal. I was getting worried for nothing. The 2 mana 1/2. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Kiln Fiend gets +3/+3 until end of turn. I've died to Kiln Fiend so many damn times. So basically, the difference between this and Slick Shot Show Off is that you can block this. Slick Shot Show Off, there's like no opportunity to chump block. It just does not exist. Not played as much. The removal's gotten too good, has it? Oh, I get all good things have to come to an end. Like today's show. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show. I most certainly did. We saw a lot of creatures that go from 0 to 100. And of course, if you want to be part of these shows to suggest cards, we're here weekdays, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. And of course, we got to thank the coffee crew. My Zyber Nation for being here. People like Alex, Christopher B, Rough 1x1, Toilet Duck, William, Argentina, Steve Cooper, Little Dead Fly, Kano, Lestian, Jack, Trent Sims, Julio. Oh, yeah, I got you, Julio. Okay, yeah, Alex, David, Toads, Hexanort. Where would I be without all of you? So as usual, have fun, everyone. Keep brewing those coffees, and we're going to keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.